Hi guys, this is Chantal and today we are going to be harvesting the butternut squash. Last night we actually had a frost. I looked at my phone for the 10-day forecast and it said that the lowest temperature was going to be 36 degrees Fahrenheit. But this morning I woke up and we had a big layer of frost over everything. And a lot of the plants were damaged, the ones that I didn't cover up. I was thinking before that we're probably 2 degrees lower than what the phone says. It turns out that we're a lot lower than what the phone says. So from now on I will just assume that we will have frost when the phone says we are not going to have frost. So my weather app is not accurate. That's what I know now. I have here a few butternut squash plants that I'm going to be harvesting. I'm also going to try to plant some garlic today. Hopefully I can get to it. And because the weather is cool now, so I think it will be okay to plant now. And I still didn't plant any carrots or turnips or any of the cool weather plants, except for the video where I posted when I was pulling the sweet potatoes. I did plant some kale and lettuce. I see the kale sprouting, the lettuce it hasn't yet, and the bed looks like it needs to be watered, so hopefully the seeds didn't die. I hope not. So those are the things that I'm going to be doing today, and right now we're going to harvest the butternut squash. So let's go ahead and get started. Oh yes, one more thing. I might, if I have the time, pull the beans on the opposite, on this trellis over here on that side, and I left some of the bean pods to mature so that I can harvest the beans off of them to save the seeds. With the fava beans, when I saved them, they just all rotted out. I think there was some sort of fungus that was going on in them, and I wasn't able to save any of the seeds, which is unfortunate. So I'll have to buy more seeds this season so that I can plant more fava beans next year. Alright, let's go ahead and harvest these butternut squash. So yesterday I came out here, I was planning on harvesting, and I decided not to because I thought we are not going to be having a frost. Ideally you want to harvest the butternut squash before a frost hits so that they would last longer for you in storage, but it's alright. They went through one light frost. That's not going to kill them. You can see the plant is still semi-alive. Some of the leaves got damaged, but the ones that were more mature stayed sort of green. They're a little bit burnt on the edges, so I'll also pull the plants out after I harvest the squash. Look at this beast. This is heavy. This one has a little bit of damage on it. I'm sure I'll find more like these, but we'll eat those first, and I might even process them and freeze dry them or can them. We'll see what happens. I also found a melon that I missed, but this one looks like it has been chewed on, and looks like it, and it looks like it's rotting. So I'm just gonna toss it. So I'm just gonna toss it in the compost. This looks like it has squash bug damage here, so I'm just gonna cut this right there. This squash right here is not mature yet, but I actually use these also when they are green, and I have come here and harvested a few of them before they were mature, and I use them in stir fries and in stuffing. You can use butternut squash just like you would use zucchini when it's young. So even though oops, I dented it. Even though it is not mature yet, I can still use it. It won't store for long. I'll have to store it in the fridge, but I'm pretty sure I'll use it pretty quickly. Huh. It looks like I finally got some of my spinach seeds to sprout, the warm season spinach. I don't know what took it so long. Only a couple of them sprouted. Oh, I see another one right there. Well, we might still yet get some of it. We'll see. Overall, I got 19 good-sized butternut squashes. 2 of them were not mature, and 5 really tiny ones. So with these really tiny ones, I didn't count them. Overall, they would be 24 butternut squash, but the big ones overall, along with these 2 green ones, are 19. So that's a pretty good harvest. I was hoping I'd get a little more, but that's okay. I planted my butternut squash a little bit later than I would usually plant it, and I was afraid I'm not going to get anything out of it because I did plant it late. I was afraid that they're not going to reach maturity by the time frost hits, but a lot of them did. So I'm very thankful for that. If I planted them earlier, as soon as the weather warmed and there was no danger of frost, then we would have had a lot more butternut squash. But I think this is pretty good, and we do love butternut squash. I'll also be sharing with some friends and family. And I don't think that's enough for us for the winter. But I also have a lot of other stuff like sweet potatoes and all that stuff. So I think we'll be okay without having too many butternut squashes on hand. So right now I'm going to rip this butternut squash plant out of here and toss it into the compost pile. This looks a whole lot better. On this side of the bed where the butternut squash was growing, I planted some parsley, and it took it forever to grow, and I think that's because it was being shaded by the butternut squash and all the stuff that are growing in here. I also was never able to get to pulling the seeds out of these plants, and some of them started dropping seeds and sprouting everywhere. I think some even sprouted in the bed. Oh, is that a tomato? Yeah, that is. Okay, I'm gonna pull this one up. Look at this, and it started flowering too. I'm not sure what the deal is, so I'm gonna pull this one. I think this is a mustard. I think this is a mustard green. I don't know, I could be wrong. Yeah, so we might have some daikon radish growing in here in the bed as well, along with parsley. And the parsley is so small. This is the first year that my parsley does that. Normally it's super big and really thick stems. This parsley is so puny. And I keep forgetting that I have to harvest my green beans. I harvested a few off of them the other day, and every now and then I come here and I harvest off of them, but they're so easy to forget about because they're hidden behind the butternut squash. And they gave me a little. I was afraid they're actually gonna be gone in the frost, but they made it. I think I noticed in the morning that this side of the garden did not have as much frost on it as the side that is closer to the south, which is kind of weird. That's not what I would expect normally. I don't think there is a ton on them anyways, because it is getting really chilly at night, so they tend to slow down when it gets cold. But I was able to get a little bit off of them, and I was able to make the stew that we love, the green bean stew. That's all I got out of them. I'm not sure that I'll be able to get any more green beans off of these, but I'm just gonna leave them here a little bit to see. They might give me a few more, and I might be able to make something with them, at least a stir fry. That would be good. I can also toss them in with some other vegetables. So I tried the yard-long green beans in a stew, and I did not like them because it felt like they didn't have any flavor, which is super weird. I do, however, like the Blue Lake bush beans in the stew. They taste really good that way. And any other application as well. Right now I'm going to be planting some garlic, but before I can do that I have to clean up the bed. I'm going to be planting it in this bed right there behind me, and there's some curly dock growing in there, some basil, but the basil I think is just not going to survive any longer, so I'm going to pull that out. The green basil has been damaged by the frost, and it already has went to seed anyways because I didn't really keep up on it this summer. So right now we're going to be weeding the bed, and then I'm going to fertilize it and plant the garlic. This is a tomato root. So originally when I cut the tomatoes out of this bed, I cut them at the tip right beneath the soil level because I wanted to keep the roots in the ground so that it can decompose. But since I'm going to plant garlic in this bed, I can't keep these roots in here because they will get in the way. So I'm just tossing them to the side over there on the grass because I'm going to be also making a new bed over here on this side. I was planning on doing it about a month ago, but I got busy with other stuff, and so I wasn't able to do that. I will have to still do it before the snow comes because I'll have to move the dirt out of the driveway. It's still there and it's driving me insane. So I gotta hurry up and plant this garlic because I'm not sure I'll be able to do anything else after that. We'll see. I might be able to. We'll see. So right now I'm going to fertilize this bed. I have some plant tone with me, and then I will dig some trenches and plant the garlic in there. You can plant it about 2 to 4 inches deep depending on the size of the bulb, and the bigger the size of the bulb that you have, the better it is, depending on the size of the clove, not the bulb, sorry. The bigger the size of the clove that you have is better because this will give you a bigger head when you start with a bigger clove, because it won't take it as much time to grow to the size to grow big before it starts splitting. So if you start with a big bulb with a big clove, then it would reach the stage where it would be able to split a lot faster. I have about 4 heads of garlic with me that I harvested from our garlic that I planted last fall, and I'm going to be using those to plant over here. But before I can start planting them, I have to prepare the bed. So I'm going to put the plant tone in there. You could use also some phosphorus and which is great for bulbs because also it encourages root development and bulb growth. And phosphorus is also great for flowers if you want to encourage the growth of blooms in your, and if you have a flowering plant that you want to encourage that to grow. Also, bone meal is great for that because it does have phosphorus and it has calcium, and calcium is going to make the cell structure of the plant a lot firmer. So let's go ahead, fertilize this bed, and then plant the garlic. One more quick thing, I love this tool. This tool is just amazing for small weeds that haven't developed really big roots yet, and it makes the job so quick. And I do pick up the weeds after I use this hula hoe to pull them up, because a lot of them can continue to grow after you kind of scrape the dirt at below the surface. If you have a hard layer of dirt, it is hard to scrape the roots out, and what you would end up doing is chopping the weeds at the top. But I like to kind of dig it into the dirt and then scrape the roots out, and this just gets rid of the whole problem altogether. So this tool is super handy. You could just come after it with a rake or something, clean up the weeds and toss them away. So if you are interested, I have also filmed a video on my favorite gardening tools, and I'll link that in the description box below. I was going to make trenches and plant the garlic that way, but when I started digging in the soil, I noticed that it was the soil was very compacted. And when you are growing something underground, it is important to have the soil around it be loose, because then it is more difficult for the thing that's growing underground to grow bigger. So I tilled it, and I decided that I'll just take each clove and I'll dig it into the ground by hand. So right now I'm just removing just the first layer of skin over here, first few layers, so that I can get to the cloves. And you want to make sure to keep as much skin as you can on the cloves, because if you don't, it's a possibility that they would rot. And you want to pick the best cloves that you have. And if you have, you know what, I'm going to take my gloves off. If you have anything that is rotting or drying or anything like that, you don't want to keep that. Uh-oh, that one's kind of peeled off. Sorry. So usually the inner cloves are the smallest. So I'm going to open them up like that and choose the largest cloves out of them. This is tough. Some of the skin is coming off on some of them. I love garlic, and I already used most of our garlic from this year's harvest. I still have a few cloves, a few heads left, and I just wish I planted more. I don't know if I have enough to plant a lot this year. We'll see. But I don't know if this one bed is enough, honestly. And also this season my garlic didn't do this great because I planted them super late and the weather wasn't cooperating with us. So hopefully this coming up year I'll have a better harvest. Ooh, this head is really nice. Has a lot of big cloves. So I'm going to choose the biggest of them and plant those. These don't look very good. And garlic needs to go through a cold period in order to grow the big bulbs. If you live in a warm climate, what you can do is you can plant your garlic in the spring, but before you plant it in the spring, you can put it in the fridge to have it go through a cold period. I'm not sure the exact amount of time that you would need to put it in the fridge because it's different than being outside. Maybe 1 month should be enough, maybe 2 months. So you can try and see what works best for you and do that. You can just you can grow garlic that way if you live in a warm climate. Right, we live in zone 5, so it's great for us to grow garlic in the fall. This looks like just one. Yeah, I'm gonna plant this one. It's just one. Okay. And you notice the roots on the garlic are right here. So when you pull it out from the clove, this would be the root end right here, the wide side, and the pointy side is the side that you are going to have it face up when you plant it in the ground. Hi, sweetie.
Are you done?
No, happy. Okay, I have one more good one right here.
I help you.
You want to help me? You do. Oh, yes, you can help me. I'll tell you what to do, okay?
What?
We're going to be planting garlic, but you have to wait, okay? because I have to make sure to put them in the right places. So now, now we are going to space them out about 4 inches apart from each other on center. You could space them about 4 to 6 inches apart. Keep in mind that the head of garlic is, I mean, most heads are, the biggest heads would probably grow about this big, so that would be about 4-inch diameter, and they could be growing right up against each other once they reach the full size, full maturity size, and they would be totally fine. So you can space them that way, and also same thing in the rows. You can space them about 4 about 4 to 6 inches apart from each other. Alright. If I run out of the big garlic, I might have to go back inside and grab some more big cloves. You like helping Mama? Yeah. Hold on, sweetie. I think I might need more garlic.
What's this?
What's what, sweetie?
I'll help you.
You will help. No, leave it here, okay?
No.
Leave it there. You will help me when we want to plant them, okay? Whoop.
Where's Papa?
He's going inside to get me some more garlic. Hold on. And you want to put this one over here?
Yeah.
Okay, put it right here. Good job. Okay, put this one over here. Good job.
Belongs there. It belongs there. It belongs there.
Does it?
Yeah.
Not now. It will belong there once we put the irrigation on. Okay?
No.
Yeah.
Now, leave them or bake.
There's a super tiny one.
Super
Super tiny one. There you go.
I'm bedtime.
Only one more, really. Only one more.
Yeah.
Can we put them here?
So,
We ran out of big ones.
okay.
Thank you.
What? What?
But come.
Where am I going?
I want to play with me. I want to play.
You want to?
sweetie. Yes. 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 The garlic is planted. Now I just have to remember that I planted it here and not plant something over it when spring comes. I'll have this video to remind me that I did that. I probably should make a sign and put it here, but I don't know what the snow would do to it. I could also, yeah, I'll just look back and see where I planted the garlic to remind myself in case if I forget. I was going to plant some carrots and some other stuff, but I think I'll have to do that on another day because it is getting dark right now, and I have done so many episodes with midnight gardening. I'm thinking maybe about starting a midnight gardening series. It's a joke. Because after we started our homeschool season, I find myself having to garden later in the day, and in the summer that's okay because the sun goes down at around 9 o'clock, but during the fall it is not okay because the sun starts going down much earlier, and so I have very little time left to do anything after all of our homeschool and all the stuff that goes on, making dinner and all that stuff. So I need to find a better schedule to do that. I am trying to film my videos on Saturdays so that I don't have to do that during the week, and that would give me much more time in the day to do what I need to do. And so far it has been working. We'll see what happens in the future. Anyways, so the garlic is planted. That's done. That's checked off my list, and I feel good now. And I think you can, once the season cools down, you can start planting your garlic. It just needs to, you might, if it warms up a little bit, you might see some green growth on it, and that's totally okay, and it's good. It's, during that period of time, during the winter time, what's happening is that the garlic is growing its roots, and it's establishing itself, and then it begins to grow its bulb, and I have dirt all under my fingernails, and then you can harvest it between July and August depending on when you planted it. All right. So I have very little garlic from this season's planting left for me to use in cooking, and that's really sad because I love garlic, and I'll have to eventually buy garlic from the grocery store, but until then I'll be using this garlic, and it's the best garlic ever. I'll be leaving a few videos for you guys on this side over here. Sorry for my dirty fingernails, I was playing in the dirt. Don't tell my mom. And you can go ahead and click on those and enjoy them. If you are new here, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell to receive notifications of whenever I upload new videos. And if you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.